Hi, and welcome to another video by Jim the Car Guy. Today we have a 2008, it's a Hyundai Sonata. The problem we have today is that the customer gets into the vehicle, turns the key, and just gets a clicking sound. The battery is actually dead. That happened for 2 days. They jump started it, drove the vehicle, shut it off. The next day, the exact same thing. So they brought it in for me to check it to see what's wrong with it. And I'm going to take you along and I'm going to show you how to properly diagnose it without just changing the battery. We want to make sure that the battery is the problem. So we're going to do two things. We're going to do a load test on the battery to see if the battery is good, and then we're also going to do a charging system test to make sure that the alternator and the voltage regulator are working properly. So let me grab the machine, and I'm going to turn that heat off because it's going to turn on any second now, and don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. Okay. First thing we're going to do is I have two different testers that we can use. The one that I'm going to use, which actually works fairly decent, is this electronic one here. You connect it onto the battery and you follow the prompts on the screen, and we can do a test on it to see. So let's hook it up and let's continue. Okay. First thing we're going to do is you can connect your tester up, positive to positive, negative to negative. We connect our positive lead onto the top of the battery. We connect our negative onto the battery. And then we just follow the prompts on the screen here to see what it is. Now this battery is actually rated at 800 CCA, which is right on top of the battery. I'll bring you in a little closer, I'll show you that in a minute. But it says 800 CCA, which is what we're going to test it for right now. So what we do is click on here. The rating is already set at 800, and then we press the enter button and we follow what it tells us on the screen. Pretty clean cut. It's supposed to be at 800 CCA, and it's actually right now at 166 and 12.28 volts. As you know, voltage is one thing and amperage is something else. We need to get those amps up to actually get the car to start. So this is what it will do when you have a bad battery. That's a pretty unmistakable sound when you have that issue. So, all right, let me print this out. And what we are going to do is we're going to bring you up here so we can talk. What we are going to do is we're going to take that battery out. We're going to replace it with a new one, and we are going to do a charging system test just to make sure that it's good, because this battery, it looks like it's fairly new. There's no dates punched out up on the top of it, so I'm not sure exactly how old it is, but it's absolutely no good, so we are going to replace the battery. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. There's two things we're going to do here. I have a jumpstart box that we actually put inside the car, and we connect a cable to the jumpstart box, and then we connect it up to the power port or the cigarette lighter, whatever you have in the vehicle, and then we turn the key to the on position, and we can remove the battery and replace the battery without losing all the presets on the radio. And if you have a GPS or whatever, you won't lose all the presets. So let me grab my jumpstart box, get some tools, and we'll be right back. Okay, replacing this battery is a very easy job. We just need a long extension like this in order to remove the hold down, which is right down inside here. We're just going to take that hold down out. Be careful you don't drop anything, you don't want to lose it. Okay, now before we disconnect the battery, we're going to go inside the car and we're going to use that jumpstart box. So let's go inside and I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay, what you do is just bring a jumpstart box in. We plugged, sorry about that ringing, but that's the key in the ignition. All right, then we just take the jumpstart box like this, and we connect into a accessory port. like this. And then we just turn the key to the on position. Obviously, we're going to make sure we have our plug plugged into our jumpstart box to power it up, which we do. And it's actually showing 12:03 right now on the clock, which is probably wrong already because it's not 12:03. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the battery out. So we disconnect the negative first. And the reason you disconnect the negative first is because if you're on the positive over here and this wrench was to slip and hit anything made of metal, you would have a problem because the rest of everything else on the car itself is negative. This is the only thing right here that's positive. So what you want to do is you want to remove that negative from anything. So you take your negative cable off first, and then you take your positive cable off. All right? Always use the open end, the box end of the wrench. Never use the open end. Be careful when you're taking off the negative. You don't want to accidentally slip with the wrench and short it out between these two. Now once we have that loose, then we just take this off. Relocate that off to the side for now. And now we loosen this one up right here. We'll grab the new battery. And by the way, this battery is the wrong battery for the car. Somebody put the wrong one in. This is a different series battery. Okay, so we take the positive off now. We just take this and move this off to the side, and then take our battery out. And we replace it with the other one. The reason I say it was the wrong battery is because this battery here is a 124 series. That's actually a 24. A 124 is a shorter battery, so it sits down a little bit lower in the battery box. See how much lower it is in the box here? Because you don't want to take a chance on anything touching up on the top here. All right, now once you have your battery back in, you take your covers off, obviously. Put your cable back on for your positive first. Then you tighten the positive. Then we're going to take our negative cable and we're going to reconnect our negative cable. Now make sure when you put this on that this cable, you never want to put it on so that it's partially up like that. You always want to put it on all the way down so that the entire cable is covered. I mean the battery end. All right? And then we'll tighten this up. Nice and tight. And I'm just going to go in and shut the key off in the ignition. Sorry about that. Okay. Now once we have that done, we're going to take our hold down and we're going to reinstall our hold down back where it belongs. And you're basically just putting it in the exact spot that you took it out of. Okay, that's nice and tight. And now just to confirm that everything else is okay, we're going to retest everything to confirm. Now remember what I said about that battery was being the wrong battery? That one was at 800 CCA. This one is actually a 700 CCA, which is what this car calls for. So we're going to reset it. And then we're going to test it. The battery is good, 659. Press enter for the starting test. We're going to press the button. And now we're going to start the vehicle. Let's get rid of these. pressed it. Now it says his cranking voltage was normal. We're going to test the charging voltage. We're going to rev the engine for 5 seconds. Now it's testing it at idle. We're going to check the diode ripple. All right, turn the loads on. Loads are on. It's now testing at idle again. Now we're going to rev it for 5 more seconds. Analyzing the data. Charging system is normal. 14.52 and 14.45 with everything on. And the diode ripple is normal. So everything is good. Charging system is perfect. Let me shut this off. Okay. Now, if we did our job correctly, we should be able to get inside the car, turn the key on, and we should still have the time set correctly on the clock. Let's get in here. And there we go, 12:10, which is just pretty much, is not the correct time, but we didn't lose the memory. It may have been dead from something that the owner did. All right, okay, so we got everything done. We're going to disconnect the machine that we had on here. That was the testing machine. We'll remove the machine, and we're all set. All right. Next thing we'll do is make sure you close down that cover that was actually on top of the battery down here. Make sure you close that up, so that way you don't have any issues with problems. All right, and that's it. Any questions or any comments, or you need any advice on anything, send me an email. Be more than happy to talk to anybody about anything. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.